One-step equations with addition and subtraction. This is a digital lesson, and it's a beginning lesson for students who are just learning how to solve equations. So it explains what algebraic equations are. They include a variable and to solve for a variable. And then it shows that balance scale that we want to do the same thing to both sides of the equation in order to keep it balanced. And then to isolate the variable. So once you've gone through these beginning lessons with the students, the beginning slides, then they're going to use this drag and drop for these terms, kind of a review of what they just learned, and they're going to click and hold and then move these into the correct place in the sentence frames. Then we move on to some examples of how to solve algebraic equations. So we want to do the opposite operation. Now students are going to say, well, I could do that in my head, but the answer to them is we want to follow the steps because when these problems get more difficult, we're going to need to follow those same exact steps. So it's really important that we do this correctly. And here we're given a slide that just has students drag and drop the opposite operation. So here the opposite would be to subtract 8, subtract 4, and over here add 8, and so on. What is the opposite operation? Then students are going to be typing in the text boxes. So this first one is done for them. And they do the opposite operation. They're just going to type in the text box. So for example here, -4, subtract 4, and they get their answer of 16. And they've got several to practice. And then they're given a problem to solve and then check their answer for correctness. The last slide is a drag and drop, not a drag and drop, it's a matching with the line tool. So they come up here to line, click on line, it gives them a little plus sign, and they click it where they want the line to start. They can play around with this, they can change the color of the line, they can change the thickness, and they're going to match these two sides. So they're going to match the problem with its solution. So here we're going to have 6, and they're going to do the same thing. So instead of getting a new line, they could just click on this and Control D, and they'll get a new line. And that way they can move that. So these little blue circles on the end, they can just click and hold, and they can move this wherever they like. So that is a digital lesson on one-step equations with addition and subtraction.